Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi!
Hello friends, we're back today with another quest video, this time for the Blood Angels character, Lucien. You know the drill, I'll show you each stage, the characters I've used, and some tips in commentary and text format. You can see the characters that we've used and the required rarities on this slide. Kyle, the Snowprint developer who designs these events, uses Gold 2 and ability levels at 42 for the Legendary node. Accordingly, I have used the exact cutoffs, but you'll have a much easier time if your own characters exceed those thresholds. For Common 1, Lucien moves up the right flank and attacks 2 Tyranids. Tangita moves up the left and attacks the Tyranid on the high ground, summoning Skitarii in the process. Burchard then takes the middle and uses his active on the remaining Tyranids. The last remaining Tyranid should attack your Skitarii summon and you can clean up on the final turn. For Common 2, Vindicta moves towards the right bridge and uses her active on the low ground Tyranids. With her second attack, she kills the Tyranid blocking the adjacent bridge. Lucien, with his Unstoppable trait, then runs across and kills the 2 Tyranids on that side. Incissus and Certus attack the enemies in the middle. On turn 2, Lucien kills 2 more enemies and we heal up before finishing the battle as shown. Common 3 is slightly messy and relies on a healer for the full clear. Your results may vary depending on which Tyranids flee. For my run, I used Incissus and Varro to kill the front Tyranid and allow Bellator to summon with his active ability. Lucien and Certus kill 2 Tyranids on the right hand side. The focus on turn 2 is to kill the Tyranid warrior, after which finishing the battle should be trivial. Just remember to heal up before the end. For the next stage, Vindicta starts the battle and uses her active on the bottom right Tyranids. She then repositions and attacks the bottom left group next. Lucien and Matineo follow along and clear off the enemies on the bottom of the map. On turn 2, the northern Tyranids move down the map and are easy pickings for us. For Uncommon 2, Lucien attacks the Tyranids on the left and Burchard attacks on the right. Certus repositions to the back line and we await the enemy advance. On turn 2, Certus finishes off the Tyranid warrior. Burchard's basic attack kills the right-sided enemies and Lucien's attack kills the left. That should clear the map and give you plenty of time to heal and finish off the remaining Ripper Swarms. Uncommon 3 isn't pretty as is often the case for the 5 character stages. There is no particularly key move, you just kill the enemies and ensure you are fully healed for the fight. For my run, I used Vindicta to clear the right side enemies and position the rest of my troops on the left. On turn 2, the key is killing the winged Tyranid Prime. After this, I slowly finish off the rest of the enemies and make sure to stay healthy with Incissus before the end of the battle. Rare 1 is reasonably straightforward. Vindicta uses her active on the south group and then attacks normally on the Tyranids above her. I use Elf to kill the last Tyranid, but really you can use any character here. Lucien finishes the battle by killing the 2 Tyranids in the north. For Rare 2, we start off with Lucien using a basic ranged attack on the Ripper Swarm. Matineo uses his active on the remaining Tyranids in the middle. On turn 2, Incisus heals Matineo and our Blood Angels slaughter the remaining enemies. For Rare 3 we use the same characters and it is straightforward. Lucien makes a basic attack in the middle and Matineo flies onto the high ground for another basic attack. On turn 2, Lucien attacks again, as does Matineo. Finally, we heal with Incisus and finish the stage off. For Rare 4, Ulf moves along the right bridge and spells Doom for the poor Tyranid. Lucien moves into the middle and kills another 2 Tyranids. This leaves room for Vindicta to use her active on the north enemies and a basic attack on the left. That's probably the key sequence of moves for this stage. We finish the battle as shown and remember to use Incisus' heal before finishing. Rare 5 bucks the trend and is actually relatively clean for a 5-character stage. The key here is using the threat indicator to move your characters up the map, but just outside of the engagement range. The enemies move forward as shown, and on turn 2 we use Matineo's active on the Neurothrope. Lucien attacks 2 enemies on the right, and Incisus finishes off the last. The 2 Ultramarines kill the left flank for a nice, smooth turn 2 victory. Epic 1 starts with Matineo using his active on the northward Ripper Swarm. Lucien attacks the bottom left enemies, and Bellator also summons on the north. If your positioning is correct, then the enemy Tyranids will attack your summons, and you can finish the battle on your next turn. Epic 2 is tricky, and I have tried to use basic characters that most players should have access to. We spend turn 1 by keeping our forces on the bottom left corner and awaiting the enemy advance. On turn 2, the key moves are using Lucien to kill the Tyranid warrior, God's Will to clear the left bridge, and Certus to kill the right bridge. I'll leave the rest of the battle to play out for you. As I've said before, the 5-man levels and solutions aren't particularly elegant. I'm showing my Epic 3 solution here on screen for whatever it's worth. The key to this strategy is using Vindicta to torch the middle of the map and getting your remaining characters to kill off Tyrant Guard. Matineo's active on the northern Barbgaunt helps to soak up some damage, and after that it is a case of being patient and killing the remaining enemies while staying healthy. I struggle with showcasing the legendary missions for these videos because so much of the solution will be individualized to your roster and who you have leveled. The Snowprint developer for the quests uses non-legendary characters capped at Gold 2 and abilities at 42. The run I'm showing now uses the exact same cutoffs, but you'll have more success if your characters are stronger. We keep our forces back in the starting position and make a protective shell around Isabella. On turn 2, Vindicta uses her active and our forces reposition towards the north. From there, it should be relatively easy to finish the battle and stay healed up. I'll maybe sign off there. I've just started a Patreon for my channel. If you are fortunate enough to be in a position to support me and my content, I'd love it if you could check it out. I want to give all of my current Patreons a massive shout out. Thank you so much for giving me the platform to continue doing this sort of work. If not, I've left the refer a friend code for Aernz on screen. He's a Tacticus ambassador and friend who's invaluable to me creating content and allowing me to do this on a regular basis. Supporting him supports me. If you are a newer player, entering his code earns yourself 100 Blackstone. It is single use though, so choose who you support carefully. Bye for now.
Doo-doo-dee. It's Nandi.